Okie dokie. Escape from
The Citadel.
Yes.
Escape the Citadel.
The Citadel.
Come on, let's move this
Escape the
along.
Citadel. Yeah, there you go.
God.
Okay, yeah, lot to talk through here. So they go to the Citadel. They find his daddy. But the Lich starts to break free because he's just so evil, and he has evil stuff that turns all the other bad guys into his bad guys. And they break Finn's father out, whose name is Martin, and he's just a total deadbeat bum dad, pretty much. And has no interest in his son. Is only, he's kind of like playful and friendly, but just clearly has no responsibilities or dedications of anything. And there's this stuff that puts his leg back together because it gets sort of fried off. So they use that to defeat the Lich, and that turns him into a great big baby, which I couldn't have seen that coming. But when Martin's trying to get away with all the other villains, Finn tries to latch on, and he gets so involved in getting his dad back and getting some answers that his arm, the grass part, starts to grow like thorns, and it starts to grow bigger and bigger. It grows so big, and the force is so strong, his arm is literally ripped off. And he falls off, and a little bit of that gunk that makes your skin whole again.
Guardian's blood.
Yeah, like the Guardian's blood. Whatever it was, gets on his arm, and he grows a little flower. Cute. And,
Sorry, what was that?
It's cute. And, he's really sad, and even Shelby comes out to shed a few tears, and it was actually really I love how even a worm is more affected by everything than his dad is in this. I mean, that was kind of like the big ouch moment. And in probably the biggest laugh we see, the first time we see Mr. Pig and Tree Trunks after they got married, she's about to suggest they get a divorce. But then there's a baby the Lich left at their doorstop, and he's like, oh, this changes everything, which is very ironic considering the whole story about how, Finn was left behind. It's just like, I didn't quite know how to take all that, really. But, I liked it. It had a lot of fun, adventurous stuff. The deadbeat dad, I mean, it was kind of obvious he was going to be a criminal there, and not a guard. I had a feeling it might go that direction. And yet it was still so painful to watch. That stuff is just hard. And it reminded me a little bit, you guys ever see Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
Remember Ed's dad?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of that. Where I think with him though, it was just a sense like his marbles weren't all there. I mean, he was just constantly distracted. It was like, super, 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 super ADD, something like that. Where, like, he seemed like, he liked his kid, hey, come on, you want to be with your old man now? You want to go? And then just, work! And he just takes off. Like, he's not actively trying to get rid of her, he just doesn't think. Here, he is actively, like, trying to push the son away. And it's just like,
hurry, cut faster. He is really fast there.
Yeah, can go a little quicker. And just in such a, the only way I can describe it, such a deadbeat way, because he tries to do it all friendly. Yeah, could you go a little quicker there? Could you go? It's just like, that stuff is even more painful than if he was like, I don't want you, or something like that. It's that kind of friendliness that, I don't know, maybe it's more, like, realistic. Because we've seen a few versions of that in shows.
The little parts where he calls him Flynn instead of
and he gets the name
and
wrong
like,
and stuff.
Oh my god.
It reminded me a little bit of, they play, this is like probably the most rerun thing ever, the Fresh Prince, where his dad comes back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just like, honestly, rightfully so, they play it over and over because it's remarkable. It's like an incredible episode. It's just kind of that same thing where it's sort of like, well, if I act nice, or just sort of say nice-ish things, it's like, I'm not such a bad guy, I'm okay and stuff. And clearly this guy had the same mindset, and he's just so, he's dislikable enough to still enjoy a little bit. Like, I still laugh a little bit when he's like, boy, does this guy ever give up? Geesh, I mean, I'm just like, how can this guy just be so soulless?
Yeah.
I almost thought the joke was going to be it actually wasn't his father. I thought that'd be kind of funny. They come all this way, it's just like, yeah, well, go do that, son. Go do that. Turns out it wasn't the father. But the fact that it is makes it even more painful. So yeah, I thought it still had the laughs. It had a lot of creativity with the different creatures and a lot of energy to it as well. And even with what a deadbeat he was, it still had some good chuckles with it. And my guess is with the flower growing out of the arm, I was guessing because he had the grass blade part of his arm that maybe that's like it mixed together or something. That's where the flower came from. That's my best guess. I'm curious to see what they do with that now. It's like just Finn has a flower for an arm. I'm intrigued.
At this point in time, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. There's not many episodes after this point in time, so unlike before, I'm like, ha 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 ha, I know all what's happening. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, your guess is honestly
Yeah.
really as good as mine,
Crap.
So it's kind of neat for me, like, now, like, I'm in that whole exciting, like, ooh,
Yeah,
what's
like,
gonna
what's
happen
gonna happen?
next?
Yeah. So, how about you, Joy?
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it was so horrific. It was so sad to see Finn. I mean, just, I don't know, the desperation, I guess, is more than anything. It was just so desperate, even knowing, even seeing. It's like right there. You almost want to scream at him. Don't you see? He's a horrible person. He's a piece of crap.
Well, Jake actually yells that at him, pretty much.
I felt like I wanted to just scream at him, but I mean, there's nothing you can do, and I feel like it's painful, and it's so very real. It's painful because it's so very real. There are so many people out there that have awful parents, whether they're neglectful or they're abusive or for whatever reason, in your own way, you're constantly trying to get that approval. You're constantly trying to get them to acknowledge you. And they're horrible people, but they're still your parents, and you just still want that. There's this ideal of a parent, and you want it, and it felt a lot real. I thought it was nicely done. Shelby coming out was probably the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Like he just curled up like a little puppy.
It really was, and and it was like it wasn't even. And as I was watching that, like in my head too, I was like, oh my God. I mean, yes, the arm, but it's not the arm. Like I just felt like Shelby wasn't crying so much for the arm as he was for Finn's loss of his father. All over again. That was, so traumatic. Like, yes, the arm, it's horrible, but just how he lost it, why he lost it was even worse than the fact that he lost it. This is a lot to handle.
Something I realize, I just thought right now, too, is that, they're all telling him, Finn, come on, don't, he's a loser and stuff. And literally, you have him holding on, and he's not letting go, and when he doesn't let go, a part of him is taken away. And, yeah, that's, and again, a flower starts to grow there. It's like, something is taken away, but something starts to grow again.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll get bigger and stronger, and will it be the same? No, but it's still the growth of something else, to replace it. So, yeah, I thought it was very clever.
Some lines, like, to show, like, to me, you're right in the sense of, if he just sat there and was like, go away from me, you're a scumbag, I don't, like, him talking to Finn, Martin talking to Finn, he's just like, go away, I don't want you, whatever, like, okay, that's one thing, you'd be like, oh, you're an asshole, but, like, just the way, he says things, when Finn puts the gook on his leg, and it grows back, and he looks, he's like, oh, you couldn't even fix the boot?
Yeah.
Something as minor as that. It wasn't even a thank you. It was just, he was looking, he's like, oh, you couldn't do more?
Yeah.
Expecting even more from him. Or, crap, what was the other one that I was just thinking about?
He says it with a smile on his face.
Oh, yeah.
It's also...
It's
like,
very manipulative.
Yes. Yes, absolutely yes.
He's a con
Yeah.
artist.
Mhm.
I mean, that's more or less
Yeah.
what it comes down to. The other one was, where Finn's like, he blurts out really, really fast, "Why'd you leave me in the forest?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe you left me."
Yeah.
And it was like, he didn't even say it in a joking tone.
Yeah.
He was like, "Well, maybe you left me." It's like, wow, you couldn't even. You're actually trying to make that as an honest excuse.
Yeah.
Like, instead of trying to pull it off as a joke or something, he was saying it like so seriously, like, maybe you'll buy this.
Yeah, everything is the opportunity. It's not what can I do for anyone else. It's always what can you do for me.
Yeah.
What can I do for me? And I'm sure it's like, whatever the circumstance of having a kid, it's like, well, it doesn't benefit me much. Of course I don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's a baby gonna do for me?
Yeah. The only problem I did have with this was what they did with the Lich.
Turning him into a baby.
Oh, God.
From what I gathered beforehand, the Lich is basically all evil, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. The Lich came about from the bomb going off. And now they've given the Lich, like, a pre-Lich form. I always took it as the Lich was created because of the bomb itself. Like, he was part of the bomb. He wasn't some baby skeleton that reacted with, the bomb and turned into the Lich.
Huh.
He was just kind of like this, almost like an essence, if you will, that existed. And when the bomb went off, it gave that essence life.
Well, but couldn't you, if you throw that gunk on him and he, couldn't that just be what the gunk transforms him into? I mean, honestly, it looked more to me like the skin was sort of like, not taking away, but kind of covering the powers, like kind of muting them, and it's like still kind of trapped inside, because he's still the same size, too.
Yeah, no, I know. Actually, he's bigger. Like, he's like really, really big. But when you put it on Martin, when Finn put it on Martin, it grew back as like normally. So I took it as the blood brings things back to how they were. A healing agent, if you will. Like,
yeah, but Finn didn't have a flower
but
there,
only a tiny amount landed there. It wasn't coated. So, I mean, and I just felt, again, I don't know, I felt they didn't know what to do with the Lich. They didn't know how to finally finish off the Lich for good. The Lich is such a great villain. He is like a top-notch villain that, there's nothing you can do. But that's also writing yourself into a corner. And by sitting there and going, oh, we're going to take the ultimate evil and turning it into a baby, I'm just kind of like, really? That's really the route you want to go?
I'm really torn on, because you're right. Because he is so threatening and, and all the stuff he's done. Sort of the idea of, just turning him into a baby and sort of that dumbbell ending, which I thought was really funny. But you're right. It's still...
What happened last episode?
Yeah, like he kills the old man and everything.
He looked up and you said yourself, you were like, oh shit. You know what I mean? It's cheapening. I know they did it for a laugh or whatever. Maybe they have something coming in the future, I don't know. But it felt like, what can we do? What can we do? Oh, we'll turn him into a baby. That would be hilarious. Because we need more effing babies, and now we're going to see more tree trunks. Yippee!
Yeah, I mean, this is a character that has killed off, some major characters, and sort of the idea that he would end on a joke. You're right, it doesn't feel right, and maybe they would bring him back in some sort of other way. I don't know, but something does seem a little off about that. Even though I think it is funny.
Yeah, no, I found it funny, but then again, I thought about it, and I'm like, no, come on, really? This is what you it just seems like a wussy way to end it. But then again, if you were raised by tree trunks, you'd probably turn out to be the ultimate evil anyway, so we'll see if it happens again.
Actually, in fact, that even brings up a good point. You're talking about we're going to have to see more tree trunks with the baby now, whatever, and I was thinking to myself, watching that, all I would think is, oh my god, is the Lich gonna go back to how oh my god, would he kill tree trunks? Oh my god, and it's like, these don't mesh. It should be more the comedic possibilities of the Lich, with tree trunks would be funny, but it's like, no, I'd be like really concerned for tree trunks, and it's like, that's not, something's not meshing there. You're right, it's kind of these two things. They're usually very good at balancing out, but those two don't quite go together.
I think they were just going for the joke. I think that's like I said, I don't think they figured out exactly what to do with them.
And they didn't have to get rid of him or anything. I mean, they could just, whatever, froze him again or put him somewhere else. I mean,
hell,
it's like...
the guy creates the portals and all that stuff.
Or whatever,
All
put the
he do is
gun
create
on
one.
him
Send him in
put the
a
gun
different
on, turn him
portal.
into a normal human or something, and now he has to figure out how to get his powers back. You know, something like you said.
Why did he regress? Why did he turn into a baby when he was a full-grown man? You know, it's healing agent. Yeah, I get that. And I get that Finn or Jake pretty much said he's born again. But it just seemed very counteractive considering healing the leg and all that stuff. Or maybe the blood just does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It affects everyone differently, which I guess.
That's sort of what I was maybe thinking, but yeah, I wasn't sure.
Sorry, what?
You know, I mean, I guess I just took the blood to do whatever it felt was necessary at the moment. You know, again, with Finn's arm, or lack of arm with the flower growing, I know you said it's just a small drop, but I just wondered about it. Plus, also, my first thought, actually, when the Lich was starting to grow skin and bone tendons and muscle and stuff, my first thought actually was, oh my god, life is killing him. Like,
Oh, that would have been interesting, actually.
because he was getting covered in life.
Yeah.
Like, he was dead. He's nothing, essentially. He's a skeleton, this very symbol of death and nothingness. And he brings death. And so to be covered in flesh and muscle and all this living stuff and being covered in living stuff, I thought, that was my first thought, was life was killing death.
Well, you could argue it's still kind of it. What is the
Yeah.
best way for life to kill death?
Birth.
Give life, birth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
does kind of make sense when I think about it.
that was my...
Damn it, Jory!
I still don't like it, and I don't think that's...
We might be reading too deep into it.
And I
now,
think
so.
we are, and I
I'm
think people are
sorry.
probably going to be like, no, that's totally what they were going for. I felt it was to quote the modern teens, I felt it was a punk-ass way of taking out a great villain. I felt it was lame, I felt it was cheap, I felt they had no idea what to do with the Lich. And for a villain, like a great villain, it felt, you're right, he went out on a cheap joke. To me it was just, yeah. And Jory, your explanation is pretty neat, and it's actually an interesting way of looking at it, but I don't think that's what they were looking at, and I don't buy it.
Well,
Honestly, I mostly agree with you, but her theory is so interesting. I'm leaning towards that's probably what it is. I'll bullshit my way into saying okay, that's and I'll say okay, I'll buy that.
I choose to believe in
Yeah, no, honestly, because it's not a bad theory, really. I'm kind of like, okay, like that would very much legitimately explain why he would be a baby, and it wouldn't just leave it on a dumb joke. It would be like this actually does kind of make sense. But leaving him in the hands of Mr. Pig and Tree Trunks, like I said, that's still, even though it's
nature
funny.
versus nurture.
Yeah, that's still. I'm still fearful for Tree Trunks and Mr. Pig. I'm just
I don't know if
saying,
I want
and I don't
you
know
back,
what I'm supposed to be.
Oh.
So, but
Yeah,
Kicked
life
out
is killing
again.
death.
Never gonna live that down.
I think
Poor
it's just like
Lich.
making that sound.
And we lost Ron Perlman now.
Yeah. Well, you know, he might come back. We don't know. Maybe the evil is so strong it'll come back or something.
Yeah, with Tree Trunks. Yippee.
I don't want to
I'm
see Tree
pretty
Trunks die.
excited.
Look at it that way. You can see Tree Trunks die.
No, Tree Trunks is not gonna die, and that's the problem. we get the terrible Tree Trunks living with the terrible Lich baby. Yeah, no.
Jeez.
I forgot to mention, by the way, 'cause this actually did remind me, somebody made me a little Tree Trunks figurine with a Nostalgia Critic hat and a tie. And I did bring it up.
You
I
did in the
But I'll
very
bring it up
first-
again because it's worth it.
What about the creepy guy who gave you the Tree Trunks stuffed animal that was like,
Oh yeah, he brought me that too, but he just bought that. Thank you still. But this person made this, okay? This was
God.
like a sculpture. And
was very
I'm
cool.
thankful for both. but the sculpture's just gonna win. Sorry, guy.
Oh, I forgot. Some lady who came from France and all that stuff apparently said it's because of me that she started drinking dew. So here's a dew, and I will be drink. Oh, don't you steal my thunder!
I am.
You're welcome, France.
Look at his face. That's just great. He's like, I don't know how to drink properly.
Just not as fast as you. You've had years of training to drink dew.
Here's to you, my
Oh,
friend.
yes.
Thank you.
No.
The little Alicia baby.
Tell me more about your thoughts of the Big Bang Theory and so on and so forth. Where life came from. Fascinating.
Ooh, yeah.
But you didn't know she could sign language. You racist.